undivided Trinity. Amen. This is a holy and spirit-filled, joyful and magnificent day, and we've arrived here by different paths, geographically, personally, and spiritually. Perhaps a few may have simply wandered into this space today, into this glorious celebration. Welcome. Many are witnessing today's ordinations on live stream, and I'm aware of a certain watch party happening right now in the south of England. Shout out. Some gathered are associated with our diocese and are here to bear witness to this event in our church life. Many are friends and family of our two ordinands, Patrick and Janine, and they've been witnesses to their formation and the unfolding of their identities as deacons for our church. And within this circle of friends and family are so many who supported, uplifted, did whatever they could to be present along the way. No doubt, this same group often wondered why this whole thing was taking so long. When do we get to go to the ordination? And then there's folks like the members of the Commission on Ministry, the Standing Committee, our diocesan canons, our ministry office, our bishops, and me too. We're the group that knew the timing was exactly right. Formation is an ongoing lifetime thing anyway. Ordination happens when it's supposed to happen, and not a minute sooner. And it's not a finish line, it's a starting line. And of course, the reason we're here today, Janine and Patrick. Janine and Patrick, who have poured their energy, sweat, tears, time, worry, and so much of their lives into this process. And I know they're feeling every emotion imaginable, all the feels, as they sit where they sit today. And I told you it would happen. Today's a great day. Our church gets 2 more deacons. Deacons have a long and ancient history, marked by periods of decline and renewal. Were first encountered in the Acts of the Apostles with the naming of the first 7 deacons, as we heard today. Those early deacons were essential to the growth of the church, serving practical human needs and hosting the first Eucharistic gatherings in their homes. From those first 7 to the deacons of America's Wild West, including one who was a Cheyenne war chief, to the deaconesses trained just across the close in Diocesan House, to the Sacred Order of Deacons today, our history shows that we adapt and evolve with the times, and I believe we're currently on the crest of a new wave. Yet, the heart of our ministry is unchanged. Deacons have always stepped into places where need is festering and where others may lack the time or inclination or awareness to respond. We enter those spaces beneath the ordinary line of sight, lifting up what has been overlooked or neglected and revealing it as something holy, grace-filled, and worthy of care. Deacons gravitate to places where the soil seems most worn and unattended, yet where the deepest richness and greatest potential for growth is present. The diaconate is a singular calling, demanding discernment that embraces the whole of one's life, for it must take our whole lives into consideration. That's because this is not our career. This is not our profession. This is in addition to all that. This is vocation in the purest sense. This is what distinguishes the deacon and gives shape to our identity, what sets the deacon apart. We stand at the corner of church and world and long for a church that meets us there. In our troubled and politically charged times, deacons are called to remain anchored in the teachings of Jesus Christ, proclaiming and preaching the good news, while also speaking hard truths, giving voice to the voiceless, pointing to those unlikely neighbors where to love, turning the church's gaze outward, dragging the unseen to center stage, and all this sometimes with words, but mostly with faithful actions. Deacons seek to interpret the teachings of Jesus Christ in a hands-on, practical, pragmatic sense, putting the word into action. So it's no wonder it's often said that deacons are the pebble in the church's shoe, the gentle irritant that keeps the body moving and attentive, like a beautiful pearl in the oyster that starts out as an irritant. Their presence challenges and transforms the church for the better. However we describe it, no need to argue amongst themselves who's the greatest. Our deacons are extraordinary humans. With a view toward recruiting more deacons, I visit parishes and do my presentation on the diaconate. I always begin with some of our early history, both because it's important to know and because I want to brag about it. I mention, as I did earlier, that we deacons were there from the beginning and the appointing of the first 7 in the book of Acts. A couple of months ago, I was presenting at St. Mary the Virgin Church here in Manhattan, and I mentioned that St. Stephen was not only the first deacon, but the first martyr. I went on to boast that a great deal of the martyrs, in fact, were deacons. At which point, a voice in my audience exclaimed, "Not selling it." I've since eliminated that from the repertoire. Sure, it's hard to sell martyrdom, but offering one's life, that has a better ring to it. A movie recently came out, Project Hail Mary. I read the book and I've seen the movie. Slight spoiler alert, just a little general thing about the premise. Earth is in big trouble with total annihilation imminent. 3 scientists, 2 willing, 1 not so much, go on a mission into space to save the Earth, knowing without a doubt they will never return. They give their lives to save the world. Can you imagine? I doubt I could do it. Giving one's life, when you take it literally, it's kind of a lot to ask. But commitment to a life of ministry is giving one's life, but it's not like barreling off into space never to return. It's not like a sudden turning your back on everything and everyone in your life in order to serve. It's not a one and done decision. Giving your life in the context of diaconal ministry is a continual choice, a daily posture of surrender, service, and love, renewed day after day, a quiet and steady yes to a life poured out in service. It's a commitment to Jesus in service, in addition to the practicality of maintaining careers that support ourselves and our families and all the everyday struggles of ordinary living, caring for each other, showing up for those who depend on us. And still, in the midst of all that, on days when it would be easiest to say, "I just can't," Instead, we say, I will with God's help. And we carve out that piece of our life, sometimes with effort and resistance, and the knife is dull, yet the wound is deep still. I will with God's help. And we return to our post on the corner of church and world. Today, we'll witness the ordination of two deacons, Patrick and Janine. Like most folks who've been through formation, it probably seems like it's been forever. Yet at the same time, just yesterday, since they began this journey. Last Saturday, as our pre-ordination retreat was ending, I asked Janine and Patrick if they had any final thoughts. They both expressed the same sentiment. Let's get this done. Let's do this. I'm ready. Before he was admitted as a postulant, I had met Patrick a few times, where he impressed me as a strong leader, confident and sure. But when Patrick arrived at his first deacon formation class 3 years ago, I could tell he was very nervous. He would probably say jittery. And I couldn't help but wonder, where's that other guy? But very soon, Patrick settled into formation and became a graceful and gentle leader in the class. And while I know others will slide into that leadership role, those are big shoes to fill. Also, perhaps to his own surprise, Patrick developed into an effective pastoral presence at the Terence Cardinal Cook Home. Janine and I were in touch for quite a while before she began deacon formation. To me, she exuded a sense of purpose, of finally arriving where she had longed to be. Janine is serious, compassionate, and a seasoned hospital chaplain. Soon, she took the reins, prompted by the first class Eucharist she experienced and heard our singing. She took ownership of our worship music, raised the bar, and made it beautiful. She'll be missed in class, but I promise you, Janine, we'll try. Patrick and Janine. There will be days when the work feels small and unnoticed. It can be lonely on that corner of church and world. In those moments, remember, grace is never small, and faithfulness is never unnoticed. There will be days when you'll meet Christ in places that are messy and unexpected. Those moments are the heart and soul of your ministry. There will be many days when you'll have to remind yourselves, this is what I signed up for. And days when you'll think that same thing, but with a question mark at the end. This is what I signed up for? And when you get through those days, and you will, there's renewal. There's continual recommitment, and your prayer will be a simple, bring it. But I promise you, there will be many more days when you just can't believe this has happened, that you made it to this day, that you get to do this wonderful work, to be this icon of Christ to the world. As you see that face of God in others, they will see God in you. I wish you so many of those days. Janine and Patrick, you're not being ordained because you're perfect. You're being ordained because you're willing, because you said yes, and you're so ready. Stay humble, because this calling is a gift, not an achievement. But at the same time, allow yourselves to claim your place, to lean into this ministry, to filter any noise in your head or your ears that tries to undermine you. Lean in and become the amazing deacons you were meant to be. I'm asking you, Patrick and Janine, and I'm asking not just all our deacons, but all who serve our church, lay and ordained, to focus and refocus on who you know you are, to claim your place and rejoice in your work. There's a lot to do, and we need you all. Janine and Patrick, it's been my privilege to walk this walk with you, to help you get here, and to continue to serve and support you. You've got this. I'm so excited to work alongside you. Go forward with courage and gentleness. Serve with joy, love with abandon, and trust that the one who has called you will be with you every step ahead. See you out there on the corner of church and world. In the name of the one holy and undivided Trinity. Amen.